You got the Topps cards.
I got garbage
Those are
kids.
old. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
wow.
This is what I'm trading for Pokemon cards, man.
Those are like ancients.
I know, Bud Buggy.
Wow. Those are ancient cards.
You don't want these things?
No, go away.
Oh man, these aren't trading cards, are they?
No. Those are the Topps collectible cards.
They are?
You can trade them in a sense.
Are they worth anything, or are they like worthless?
Not much, really. They're not necessarily worthless. They just don't have much value. All right, shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start over here with a Pokemon. This is Nidoran. Nidoran is a basic Pokemon. You can tell it because it says basic in the upper left corner. Nidoran has 40 hit points. That's how much damage he can take before he gets knocked out. Nidoran is also a forest Pokemon, which means that things that affect forest Pokemon would affect him. He has one attack, which is Horn Hazard, and it takes one forest energy, which is this. And so if he had this attached like this, then you could do Horn Hazard, which you would flip a coin, and if it was heads, it would do 30 damage, and if it was tails, it would do 0. Nidoran has a weakness against Psychic, which means that he takes double damage when he's attacked by a Psychic Pokemon. And then Nidoran has a retreat cost of 1, which means that if Nidoran was here, and Zapdos was here, and I wanted to make Zapdos here so that he was fighting for me, what I would do is I would pay this 1 colorless, which can be any color, and I would discard it to my discard pile, and then I would make put Nidoran here and put Zapdos as my active one.
In this thing right here?
Yeah. These are the play mats that we hand out to the people, so it really helps with the playing. Alright, this is Nidorino, and Nidorino evolves from Nidoran. It says that right there. It also has a little picture of Nidoran so that you can tell. When you evolve them, what you do is you place them right on top, and basically the top one becomes the new card. The bottom one has no significance at that point. Nidorino has better hit points, he has better attacks, and he does more damage. And then also Nidorino can evolve into Nidoking, who once is another stage higher. He does more damage, better attack, or sorry, more hit points, better attacks, and he also has a really high retreat cost. Okay, this is Zapdos over here. Zapdos is also a basic Pokemon. You can see that because it says basic in the upper left corner, as opposed to Nidoran, or Nidoking here, where it says stage 2 evolves from such and such. Zapdos has 90 hit points, which is pretty strong.
You'll have holograms on them?
Some of the rare cards do, some of them don't. There's actually a big set of foil cards, so it depends on what you have. Zapdos is a lightning Pokemon, as is marked here. And he has 2 attacks, Thunder, which requires 3 lightning, and 1 colorless. And colorless can be any color of the what they have. Like it could be this, it could be that, or it could be this. So you can use any of those for this 1 colorless. It does 60 damage, which is really powerful. And then he also has another attack, Thunderbolt, which does 100 damage, which is extremely powerful.
Knock out a lot of players.
Yeah, it knocks most guys, like this guy, would be knocked out in 1 hit. However, it does have a huge drawback in that you have to discard all energy attached to him. So most of the really powerful attacks have drawbacks to them, so it's not quite totally out of balance.
So you get a lot of energy cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use all your cards.
Exactly. This one is, Zapdos has a resistance of 30 to fighting, which means that when he's facing a fighting Pokemon, he takes 30 less damage. So say a fighting Pokemon hit me for 40 damage, he would only take 10 from that.
Okay.
This is a double colorless energy. I'll kind of explain this. This one counts as 2 energy, but it's 2 of the colorless energy. It's not 2 of any color, it's 2 of colorless. Like it would work for this, because he needs 2 colorless for this attack. And so I could give him this, and he would just need 1 more forest, and then he could do that attack. So, and the double colorless is really helpful, because in the card game you can only attach 1 energy card per turn. And since this counts as 2 energy, it's kind of like a quick jump start kind of thing almost.
Yeah.
Alright, last thing to explain here, this is Computer Search, and Computer Search is a trainer card, and what that is during your turn, before you attack, you can play any number of these trainer cards from your hands. This one specifically allows you to discard 2 cards from your hands, and then draw any card out of your deck that you want. Just search through and find one. They're all different, and they're all situational. It depends on the situation. And what you do basically with a trainer is you just say what the trainer is. You say, I'm doing a computer search. You do what the card says, and then you put it over here in your discard pile once you're done. And that's basically how the card works, or the cards themselves work. I'm going to shuffle these up together here. And then we'll show you how kind of to start a game. Okay, so shuffle.
Like, there's a lot of people keep them in those little like concealer things.
usually the best, or the reason most people do is because of the foil cards are rare, and they can get scratched a little when you play with them. So if you put them in these, it keeps them in really good condition.
Yeah.
So yeah, most people with like the good cards will play with those, but.
Don't they have like a little like rock they have with it, like energy rock or something, like life?
Oh, we have damage counters.
Damage counters.
Yeah. These are like when you take damage from a fight, these are what you put on the guy, and he takes, when you have more damage counters than you have hit points, you get knocked out. So that's how you score a knockout. Okay, this is sufficiently shuffled. Okay, when you start a game, I'm going to play with an open hand here, just one hand. When you start a game, what you do is you draw 7 cards. So this would be my 7 cards. Okay, and then what I have to do is, from my hand, I have to take one of these basic Pokemon and put them face down in the arena as my fighting Pokemon. I would normally put it like this, but since we're playing it. So this would be the first one that I would start with to fight. And then I can take any number up to 5 guys. You have 5 slots here for on your bench. These are like your reserve guys.
Yeah.
And so like when this guy gets knocked out, I can replace him with this guy. And so what I would do is just maybe put this guy and this guy on my bench. Oops. And then after that, what you would do is you would draw 6 prizes. And these actually are going to say face down. So. And these are, every time you knock out one of your opponent's Pokemon, you get to draw one of these. And when you draw all 6, that's how you win the game. Or one of the 3 ways you win the game. And then after we do this, what normally happens next is you flip a coin and, you know, like I just call it in the air and say, so I say heads and I get to go first. Okay. The first thing you always do during your turn here is you have a turn sequence. And so the first thing you always do is you draw a card. The next thing I'm going to want to do is, this is like this big this number 2 phase. There's a lot of stuff you can do in here. Normally what I usually do first in this phase is I play an energy card, because you can only play 1 per turn, and so it's really critical that you play 1 if you have one. So I'm going to put that on side there so that I can start to build him up for his attack here. You can see it's going to take 2 more turns until he can attack. Yeah. But I'll just kind of start to get him going now. And then I would play any trainer cards, or I could put a Pokemon on the bench from my hand if I wanted to. I could put Eevee down on my bench, so I have 3 out of the 5. I don't have anything else I can do at this point, so normally I would attack, but I need 3 colorless, and I only have 1, so I can't attack for 2 more turns. So then my opponent would do his turn, go on whatever, and let's just say Scyther takes 20 damage from some sort of attack. Then my next turn, once again I would draw a card. Oh, that's so looking. Okay, I would attach an energy card to Scyther, because that's so that now he has 2 out of his 3. And then I would announce that I'm playing a potion. And what that does is it takes 2 damage counters away. And then I put that in my discard pile. Once again, we come to my attack phase, and I have nothing I can do, so then we go back. My opponent does his turn, blah blah, whatever, and once again, 21. Okay, then I will draw a card. Wow, I'm drawing a lot of those, that's bad. And let's see here. Once again, I guess all I can do is play energy card. And now, Scyther can do his attack slash. So now I would announce I'm doing slash for 30 damage, and I would give my opponent's Pokemon 30 damage. My next turn, or his turn, say he does 20 again. My turn, I draw a card. Now I have a forest energy. And Scyther's attack here, Sword Dance, takes 1 forest. So I'm going to attach that, even though I can already do this one. This makes his attack double, so it's useful. Anyway, I'm going to do slash, and that would do, say, 30 more damage. And most Pokemon are probably going to be knocked out at this point, so I would draw a prize. And then my opponent makes somebody else active. He does his turn, and let's say that he does 30 damage, which knocks out Scyther. And so everything attached to Scyther, all those 4 energy and the card, go right in my discard pile. And then what I have to do is I have to pick one of the guys from down here and bring him up here. So let's say Eevee. And then the game just kind of continues this way until one either draws all 6 prizes. That's one way to win. Another way to win is if you completely run out of your deck, like you just draw all the cards. Yeah, and when you hit your last card, that's like your last turn, and then the turn after that you lose. The third way to win is if your opponent has no active or bench Pokemon. Like let's say I only had Eevee out, and Eevee gets knocked out. Yeah. Then what happens is, since I have no benched or active Pokemon, I lose the game. Oh, so man. That's one of the 3 ways you can lose. And I've seen sometimes like what can happen is you can just get 1 Pokemon in your first hand, and then your opponent gets 1 and knocks out 2 turns. Yeah. Yeah, which sucks. But It happens. So the game's pretty simple, and
You can quit the game like in the middle of it. Like let's say people are playing on a school bus, they can just like quit and leave the game.
Yep, you can just pick it up and go if you need to. You don't necessarily have to play, the full game. Some people even play with just 3 prizes,
Yeah.
which makes for a quicker game as well. So there are many variations to it.
We're